Hello there. Welcome back to Outmouse Labs. My name's Penny, and I'm glad you're here. This is part 2 of our Make a Game in RPG Maker MZ series, The Hunt for Zadrius' Tomb. So when we left off at the end of the introduction, we were about to start talking about characters. So characters are important. Most RPGs are story-based, and characters make up the bulk of the interest. If you think of fandoms, right, it's usually about characters. So when we think about characters in RPG Maker, or really most RPG-based video games, there's a few different elements, right? So you have, first of all, their identity, their bio, their history, who they are, the part you'd see in a book. Then part two of a character is assets, right? So in the case of RPG Maker, that usually means a face, a battler, and a walking sprite, and sometimes also a bust, right? So you need to think about that. Next, part three would be their stats, right? So this is what goes in the database, and that's going to vary a lot depending on what kind of game you're building. Now we're using D&D stats, and we're going to have stats grow with items. So that's pretty different than the base right away. So let's start thinking about it. Well, the first thing is that we need to know at least a little bit about what kind of game we're making. So I came up with a basic concept. An heir to a lost throne returns to their ancestral land and reestablishes their kingdom with the help of their pirate companions. So we know that we need some pirates, we know that we need an heir, and we know that we need a lost land. So our party members are going to be Quill, they, them, whose class is Exile. Classes aren't important in this game because we are going to be doing, well, at least not for Quill, because we're going to be doing Quill's upgrades differently. But I still want something to go in her box on the screen. Her element is universal because she can use any element. She doesn't get any bonuses or penalties. Quill knows nothing about her past, but was raised by her mother in the courts of Ivermore by her mother. She has the strange ability to absorb knowledge from others, and it was because of this ability that she was ultimately labeled a witch and imprisoned. So Quill doesn't know much about herself. She does know her mother. Her mother is a courtier, but she's been disgraced and imprisoned, so her mom's kind of out of it. Or I need to go ahead and just going to fix that real fast. Okay. All right, and then we have Striker. Striker is a swashbuckler. His element is sea, and he's a little bit older than the rest of the team. He can't help but be sort of a father figure, and his loyalty to his captain is legendary, as is his expertise with his cutlass and sea magics. Next, we have Coop. Coop is a softway traveler. His element is sky, and he is a member of the Order of the Soft Way that teaches that all beings have an inner nature that they can live in harmony with or struggle against. He's looking to find harmony with his inner nature and extends that to trying to support the party in finding peace as well. Next, we have Bips, who is a pirate boomer, a type of fire mage. She's the youngest member of the team. She's a natural pyromancer and lightning caller. She's a huge asset to the Avenger, which is the pirate ship, and also adds some levity and fun into our game. And finally, we have Captain Renee, who is a pirate captain. Her element is Earth. She's a descendant of Zadrius' royal battle mage, and the only one who knows what's really going on. She hopes to reinstate the Lost Kingdom and assert her family's claims. She's loyal to Quill in the sense that she's loyal to the story of the crown, and she knows that Quill is actually an heir. As a pirate captain, she is ruthless but generous, hard yet fun. Okay, so that's a basic breakdown of who our characters are. So there's our bio. Fantastic. All right, next we're going to look at assets. Okay, so for assets, for character assets that is, we have three main parts, right? So they are located in your games project folder, image, and they are found in characters. By default, it'll say like actor one. I just create one called 0_hero1 to put all of mine. And then there'll be faces in the faces directory. Again, there'll be like actor one, and I just create one called 0_hero1. And then there will be battlers, and battlers are individual, and each one gets their own. You may also have a damage if you're using default assets, and that also goes in the characters directory. Okay, so that's where they go. This is what they look like. This is our faces. These are 144 by 144. These are our 5 characters. We have Renee, Striker, Quill, Coop, and Bips. Okay? Then on our characters, our walking sprites, we also have the same. We have Renee, Striker, Quill, Coop, and Vips. And then just for example, we have Renee's Battler and Quill's Battler. Okay, so those are our character assets made and put in the right places. Now we're going to go set them up in the engine. To do that, we go to our Actors tab in the database. And I'm going to change the maximum so that there is, I'm going to do 40. It's more than we actually need, but that just gives us some room. Then I'm going to copy all of these, Control C. I'm going to move them down 5. All right, so that's going to put them all underneath. I'm going to delete, well, yeah, I'm going to delete these 4. And then I'm going to put in their names. I'm going to do Quill. If you can hit F4 and F5 to go quickly between, which can be really helpful. Striker, Coop, Bips, and Renee. Then I'm going to go up here under face. I'm going to choose Quill's face, Quill's character, and Quill's battler. Striker, same thing. Face, character, battler. So you can see how setting these up in advance is helpful, because then you can just kind of go through and in the database and click, click, click. And Bips. And this also means that you know who your characters are as you're going in. And they can start sort of surprising you a little bit maybe. And you can start thinking about how they respond to each scenario. Maybe even scenarios they're not there for, as though they're kind of watching the movie when they're not on screen. Okay. And it can help your characters grow. Next, you want to put in a little bit of a profile. This is just shows up in the status screen, and you can pull that from the bios we made. So we can say Quill is the daughter of an Ivermore courtier with an uncertain past. Rescued from prison by Striker, she seeks her fortune. Alright, let's start with that. Striker, a loyal pirate whose legendary skills with blade and sea magic make him the fear of many a port. There we go. Coop, an introspective member of the Order of the Soft Way. Coop travels with the party in order to learn more about himself. Okay, Bips, the young firecracker of the group. Bips can summon storms and has a temper to match. Okay, and then Renee, the generous but cruel but hard captain of the Avenger. It is with guile and wit that she rules the seas. There we go. Okay, so now we have our characters. We have their name. We haven't set up their classes yet. That's going to be probably be next, perhaps. Let me take a quick look here. Yeah, we'll probably start looking at classes next. So we'll go ahead and move into that. The nickname, just in case you don't know, is something that you can add if you'd like. Maybe you could put, say, Captain for Renee, and you can choose to show the nickname instead of the name in various places using text codes. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is just to create a space, I'm going to move these down one more, just so we can sort of visually see, okay, that's the end of our sets. And these will probably all get deleted later. There we go. But for now, it kind of helps to have the examples, right? Okay, so hit OK. Save. I recommend leaving the database and saving often because this engine does tend to crash once in a while. All right, so let's think about classes. Now we're going for D&D classes, basically. And we know that our classes are going to be used to... we're going to teach skills to quill differently. So everyone else will have a traditional sort of job class to grow, you know, their HP, MP, all their stats. Well, their HP, MP, and their skills are determined by level. Everyone's stats will be determined by items, and Quill's skills will also be determined by items. So why don't we start with Quill, who we said that their class was, let me see here, Exile. So we put Exile. We are going to put, we're using D&D, so we're going to have our HP go by a certain amount. So we are going to say at level 1, she uses a D10, so she gets 10 plus her Constitution, right? So that's going to be related to our defense. And so let's go ahead and we're going to give her straight 14s, I think, up front, because she's going to be able to get... Let's see. Actually, you know what? We'll give her a heroic spread. So we're going to give her a 16 attack. We're going to give her a 14 defense. We're going to give her a 15 magic attack. I'm down with that. We're going to have a 13 magic defense. And we're going to have a... Now, agility and luck are designed differently in the engine. You'll notice they're much higher by default, and they go much higher. So that's the one where we have to be careful about exactly how we do this because of the internal engine. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to assume it would be like a 14 and then double it for agility. So that's going to be a 28. And then we are going to do the same with luck. So it would be like a 14, and we're going to assume it's going to be like a 28. So 27 is fine. All right, so that's our level 1. Our HP is going to be based on that 14, which is a +2. So it's going to be 10. +2 is 12. Times 3 is 36. So generate curve, we are going to do 36. And we want them to go up by 7 each one. So we are going to do 98 times 98 times 7, 686 would be their theoretical maximum. Obviously, they probably won't get that high, but it's there. MP is going to be based on magic attack, 15. That is also a +2, so we are going to give them the same basic idea. They are going to have 8 +2 is 10 times 3 is 30. Generate curve, it's going to be 30, and then they are going to gain 6 each one, so 98 times 6, 588. Okay, so that is going to be there. Now this, because we do not want it to grow from level ups, we just have to say it's 16. It's flat. It never... Oh, actually that one might not have been 16. That would be 14. 15, 15. 13, 13. 28, 28. And 27, 27. Okay, so now their stats do not grow as they level up. All right, so there is our basics. We are going to turn, let's see, level 150. I'm actually okay with the default curve here. I think that's fine. The Exile will get a target rate of 100, a hit rate of 100, an evasion of 5, a crit of 10. I'm okay with that. It's kind of their special. We're not actually going to have 2 sets of skills. We're just going to have the one. So magic, they can equip whips. And this is all the stuff I determined when I made this character. They can use general armor, light armor, and small shields. Um, do I want them to be able to use all items? Because they are kind of making their own. Yeah, I think I'm going to give them the option to use all of them. Now this is because it is our lead. Shield. And am I going to have heavy shields? I think so, yes. Okay. So now we have that. I'm happy with that. We're going to go ahead and pause this. We're going to go save because once again, it tends to crash. Okay, and then now we're going to go down to types and do a little bit of editing. So physical, fire, ice, thunder. I prefer lightning. Water, earth, wind. So we are going to do C. We are going to do earth is fine. We're going to do sky. We are going to do, I don't think we have a light and dark per se. So we are going to have to change some of these for sure. Okay, so we want, I think we're going to do it this way. I think we want pierce. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do untyped for that. Then we're going to add a few. We're going to add 3. We're going to do fire. This is actually C. This is actually sky. This one doesn't need to be here. 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 Earth. And then we're going to do pierce, crush, slash, and then that'll be 8. Okay, so now we've added our different types of elements. We have created a few, we removed a few. Obviously that's going to change how the attacks work, but I think it'll be interesting for what we want to do because we have earth, sea, and sky, then we have fire, pierce, crush, slash, and then untyped or almighty. Okay, we don't need 2 of these. We're going to change this to 1. And what should we call it? Should we call it magic? Should we call it incantation, techniques, skills? Let's see. I guess text. All right, then weapon types. Okay, so this is, our characters are only going to have 1 weapon that's just going to get updated throughout the time. So we know that Striker uses swords, so we're going to keep swords, and we know that Quill uses whips, so when you have that. Coop is going to use, is Coop going to use claws and gloves? I think so. So we're going to call them gloves. Then Bips is going to use, do you want them to use guns maybe? Yeah, we'll have them use guns. And we'll have Renee use, actually we'll have Renee use guns, we'll have Bips use spears. Okay, and that will be all that we will need. So we'll get rid of the rest by switching it to 5. There's our weapon types. Armor, general armor, we're going to call this mystic armor. Light armor, heavy armor, small shield, large shield. I'm okay with that. Why don't we do small shields and heavy shields? Okay. All right, so then we're going to have our weapon, our shield, our head, our body, and then we are going to have our ring, amulet, boots. Do we want any more? Yellow boots. I think that's good enough. Okay. apply. All right. So now we have our types. We're going to go ahead and save. We're going to go back into our classes. General, light, heavy, mystic, small shield, heavy shield. Perfect. Everything looks good. All of these are going to change, so we can just go ahead and remove those for now. And there is our exile. Perfect. Next up, we will do Striker, who is a swashbuckler. And our swashbuckler has a slightly different experience curve. I'm okay with that. Their HP is going to be based on a D8, so they're going to be... Oh, I actually have to do their defense first, don't we? So we're going to give them a standard array with a focus on attack and magic attack. Then they'll do defense, 13. In defense, they'll do a 12. Agility, they'll do a 16 because 8. I'm sorry, a 20 because 10 doubled. Actually, we're going to give them the bonus there, and then this will be a 20. Okay. Now we can go through. 13 is a +1, so generate curve. That's going to be 8 plus 1 is 9 times 3 is 27. 27, and they are going to pick up about 5 each time. So 5 times 98. 490 is our top for them. Okay, so they are now growing. MP, their MP is going to be based on a D10, so it's going to be 10. Magic attack was 14, so 12. That's going to be 36 to start. And then they are going to be looking at the 7. 686. Okay. Attack. Now this is the same as before, where it's just going to be flat because we are going to do it all with items. 13 M attack, 14 defense, 12 agility, 30 and luck, 20. Okay. Their stats, experience. This is all going to change. All right, so target rate, hit rate. Now that hit rate of 95, that's pretty low. I think that we're going to give them the 100 hit rate as well. And what we might actually do is have the exile scissor rate drop to 98. Okay, and then because they have the 100% hit rate, their crit rate will only be 8. Okay, they have techs. They get a sword. They get general armor, light armor, small shields. Okay, there is our swashbuckler to start anyway. All right, next up we will have our softway traveler. Okay. And we'll get rid of these. Oh, cat. Nope. 1 second, y'all. That's T for the cat. Named after the Final Fantasy character, of course. Alright, Softway Travel is also going to be a D8. So we will start with... They're going to have the same basic array. They are going to do 15... 14, 13, 12, 25, and 30. Okay, we'll go through and just put that for everything now. 15, 12, 13, 25 and 30. Okay, then 15 is a +2. So we're going to be doing d8s again. So that's 8 plus 2 is 10 times 3 is 30. And they're going to be getting 6. 6 times 98. Theoretically up to 588. They do not do a whole lot of magic. Well, they're going to be our healer. So yeah, we'll go ahead and make sure that their magic is okay at least. That's a +1. We'll give them the 8 on that, so that'll be a 5. 15 to start, and a maximum of... I'm sorry, that's incorrect. That'll be a 27 to start, and then going up by 5 each time. Okay. And that's that. Their experience curve is fine. Target rate. I think because they are a healer, we're going to reduce their target rate to 95. So they will be targeted a little bit less than other people. Their hit rate will be, so that would be, that's down 6. So that covers, so that I can get a +1 to their evasion to have the same bonuses at the end of the day as everybody else. I think that looks good. They get Tex. They get the glove. Perfect. They have general armor and light armor. Okay. There's our software. Let's go ahead and save. So when you do the stuff in advance, when you think about these things in advance, you set it up, you know who your characters are. Building out the database is a lot easier. It still takes time, but you don't have to kind of be staring at the page and figuring it out as well. You're just ready to go in general. Okay, Bips is our boomer, which is effectively our wizard, right? So their main thing, I'm going to give them the D12 on MP. So that's going to be 12. And their top's going to be here as well. Their M attack's going to be 15. So that's going to be a +2. That's 14. 14 times 3 is 42. 42. And they are going to be picking up 8 per. 8 times 98. 784. 784. There we go. MP is going to, or HP rather, is going to be a, we're going to do a, do we want to do 8 or D6? We did give them the D12 on the MP, so let's do a D6. So it's going to be 6 plus, so now we have to go through into this. So 15, 14, let's do 13, which would be 26. Let's do 12. Let's do 10. And let's do 16. Okay. So they're there. 12 is a +1. They have D6, so that's a 7. 7 times 3 is 21. And then they're going to pick up, we're going to give them 4 each go. So 98 times 4, 392. So very low, very high, and then within our D&D range. And as you saw in the last video, basically these are going to be broken down into bonuses by the plugin that we wrote. So we'll be able to say get bonus on a 14 would be a +2, right? Which we can do in our heads, it's true. But this way we don't have to. And the computer can very quickly convert it for the purposes of damage and everything. Okay, almost done here with this section, and that's probably going to be where we're going to wrap up with this video anyway. So target rate, they're a mage. We're going to give them that maybe a 97, which means that we have 3 to play with right now. We're going to have their crit rate go up by 2. So we got 1 to play with. And we're going to have their evasion rate go up by 1. There we go. They get techs. They know how to use a spear. They can do general, light, and magic. They do. We'll give them the small shield. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's that one. We're going to save. We're going to do our last one, and that's where we're going to end this video. All right, so that leaves... Oh, I put Bip's name. That's funny. This is a pirate boomer. Okay. And then lastly, we have a pirate captain. And then we're going to change the maximum to 5. All right, Captain. We'll get rid of all of these. And we want them to have... They got that crit rate of +6. So that's 4 to play with right now. Two to play with because they also have the hit rate right now. So we're actually going to give them a pretty solid crit rate, I think. There we go. Skill type will be Tex. Weapon type will be gun. Bing, bing. General, light. We're going to give them the heavy armor as well. They are the captain. Heavy armor. And we're going to give them both types of shields. Okay. So they can use most all of the equipment. Okay, wonderful. Then, experience curve is fine with me. Let's go here. And they are going to have, let's see. I want them to be focused on, let's do 15, 14, 13, 12. And we'll do 25 and, no, I take it back. We'll do 21 and 30. Okay. That means that their constitution's a +2, and we're going to give them the D10, so that's going to be 12, 36, and they're going to get 8 each time. I'm sorry, they're going to get 7 each time. 686. MP, based on their magic attack, that's a +1. We're going to give them the D8, so that's going to be, for the first one, it'll be 9, 27, and then it's going to be 5 every one thereafter. 490. Okay. I just realized something for the MP and the HP. It's we're not adding in the first, so let's go fix that real quick. That's funny. So we actually need to add 686 and 36, right? So because they start with the 36, right? 722. We can fix that for anybody who has the same one first, which I know you do. Okay, MP, it's the same problem. 588 plus 30, 618. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it does matter. So let's make sure we get it right. So that's going to be 517. Oh, maybe that's 722. Okay. 688, so 588, 98, 08, 18. 17. Oops. But at least we caught it. 402, 403, 413. All right. 86, then 96, 806, 816, 824, 826 rather. And you are fixed there, so just this one. 517. Okay. Oops. All right, that's fixed. All right, now attack. We are gonna do. We already. I think we did. So we just need to do this part. All right, let's make sure. Oh, somehow that got missed. These should be flat, 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 flat. Very good. Very good. Done. All right, so we've saved. That gives us our character classes, at least the beginnings. Then we can go to our actors. We can apply our classes. They are an exile. They are a swashbuckler. They are a softway traveler. They are a boomer. And they are a captain. We can hit apply. Let's go add in our party just so we can see it in the engine real fast. Coop. Pips. And Renee. Okay. Boop. Boop. So we have our character. We have our team. We can look at them all. All right. And if we go into their status, well, you can actually see it here too. Exile, swashbuckler, softway traveler, pirate, boomer, and captain. There are their stats. Everything is as it should be. If you get page up and page down, you can cycle through in here. And so you can see our little bit of backstory we put in for each person. Everything looks really nice. Okay, so that's going to be it for our first one. Hopefully that was helpful. We will come together next time. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, let me turn down the sound because it's always so loud. I'm sorry about those beeps a minute ago. That will stop after this. Oh, no, I do have it down. Oh, good. All right. So hopefully that's not too loud. All right. I will see you in the next video. Happy game making.